Hey everyone. So I got home pretty late today, but that was expected. And this is the team that I'll be using for Marlboro. Now I kept, as per usual with these final bosses, I am recording the team after killing the boss and capping the boss. So yeah, let's check out the gearing choices. I'm using two passive provoke evasion units, or yeah, units I should say. Number one is Mastermind Zone. He's got the usual, as you can see. What's important is that he has at least 80% ice, and funnily enough, he's only at 60% stone resistance. I guess I was lucky, but he needs 80% to both. So keep that in mind. And yeah. All the rest is pretty much standard, I would say. He's got 0 plant killer. Next up, Warrior of Light Bards. He's our second passive provoke evasion tank with the necessary resistances. He only needs 20% to both ice and earth because we're dispelling the team. So this is the gear, as you can see, using Requisition card. And in his, oops, he doesn't have that one. Gearing equipment, what did I forget about here? I just reloaded the other team, so some things might be gone. What's missing? I don't remember, but let's just give him some attack stuff. Oh yeah, Hermes sandals. That was that. That was it. We need his trust passive. Alright, so this is pretty much the gear he's using. Lots of plant killer, although plant killer is very scarce. So yeah, he's got only 165 plant killer. Reap of the Dust Storm being one of the MVPs. From Jubel, that is. Or Jubel. Next up is Mazurka. Base form, lots of LB fill, as you can see. So this is the gear. She's got 250 plant killer, 17 LB fill, 400 LB fill rate, and the Brave Shift is fully. So the Brave Shift is super expensive, right? As you can see, I'm using double Warlord leg guards to make her work as a true dual wield unit. I'm using Indestructible Light, so this is not very cheap. I'll give you that. She's using her own vision card. And she's got 250 plant, 750 jump damage. And she's going to do still a little more damage than Edgar does, funnily enough. Even though she has pretty low attack and is only EX +1. But according to the simulations, she's about 1 billion ahead of Edgar. Next up, Noctis. So Noctis's job for most of the fight is A, Sword in Peril, B, Dispelling. So I also gave him Lion Emblem to fill LB gauge for Mazurka. And yeah, this is the gear. And since he is on Ifrit, you need, by the way, equip staff for this to work, otherwise you cannot. But if you don't have Noctis, one of the alternatives to Noctis is Edgar. You will still probably cap. And yeah, you don't need 10,000 needles. I had this for a previous run. I just forgot to take this off. His own vision card. And the Brave Shift is, well, fully loaded on plant killer, as you can see. So the usual stuff. And he is at 300 plant, 750 LB, not LB, jump damage. Pretty good. The only thing you need to keep in mind that since he has to wear the Ifrit Esper, we cannot use his better modifiers. He's minus 30 to ice. He needs at least 20 positive or plus 20 ice resistance, so I cannot make his modifiers work unless I change the Esper, but then I lose the plant killer and it's an overall DPS loss. Okay, last gen next up. Base form, basically LB filling. Just make sure he has the necessary resistances because This is a turn 7 clear, so by that time you're probably gonna have his LB ready anyway. Brave Shift, fully geared towards plant killing. So he's got 175 plant, 300 LB damage. Here's the gear. And the Riku Vision card. And lastly, we've got Ferris. Base form really doesn't matter too much. She doesn't need dual cast. On previous attempts, I had Ferris dual cast, but I realized that this was a stupid idea. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is. She's wearing the wrong vision card, which I just realized, but it doesn't matter. So in a best case scenario, that's why you get for gearing her for the final boss and don't check the vision card. So in an optimal case, oh my god, I have so many of them. In an optimal case, you are going to use Riku's vision card, and this is a Brave Shift, double Bard's Blade for plant killer. She's got a lot of LB buffs, as you can see. Yeah, so this is Ferris, 295 LB damage, 180 plant killer. And that's the team. Alright, so have fun watching this. And yeah, again, if you don't have Noctis, you can use Edgar. If you don't have Mazurka, you can substitute her with, I don't know, any other Kappa, to be honest. You can use... Who's a good Kappa for this? Locke should work. He has fire element. The boss is weak to fire. You could technically use Tifa, but she's going to deal a lot less damage. But you don't have to stress this out. Mazurka is not needed. You get 100% plant killer from Bards as well. So yeah, these are the two flexible slots. I'd say Ferris, Zaun, and Bards, they are the most important ones. Mazurka and Noctis are just for the highest amount of damage. But the more units you have to swap out of this, the less likely it becomes that you will cap this boss. I'd say Mazurka is the second most important unit in here for the most damage. So the damage calculation should be Noctis deals roughly 5 to 6 billion damage. Then comes Mazurka at 2 to 3 billion. Then we've got last gen at 2 to 3 billion, Ferris, etc. But yeah, Noctis on his own probably should be almost enough. I think on my kill video you're about to see, he almost capped this on his own. So yeah, have fun watching. Okay, I'm doing this fight all over again. I technically, if you're watching this, I already capped this fight. But to be very honest, I'm ashamed of myself, or embarrassed I should say, because I made a huge mistake during this whole run. And I'm not sure whether I should tell you what mistake I made. But yeah, maybe I'll tell you while we do this. So the right hand side, Noctis doesn't do much. He uses Rallying Cry. Both Ferris and last gen do the buffs, the resistances. Mazurka on turn 1 is going to Don't Make Me Stop My Feet, and the plant killer buff. So let's do that. Bards is going to entrust over to Ferris, and Zaun is going to Elemental on himself, critical on Mazurka, and my personal flavor, Mystical Mirror. Alright, so we got the most important things already. The attack buff, the plant killer, and the resistances. And the next few turns are literally me AFKing, because this is a turn 7 clear. Alright, so the right hand side of the screen just repeats. Mazurka emotional slash for for 2 stacks of Mirage, but we don't need them. It's just for LB crystals basically. Bards is going to job level 2 Blade of Pursuit, which is a wind imbue onto Mastermind Zaun, and he starts powering up Brave Blade. However, we will attack with Zone and Bards without any breaks, so their damage at the end of the day doesn't really matter at all. Zone is going to Reflector and just refresh the buffs on himself. Let's hope I also refreshed the imbue. I did. Perfect. Turn 3 is the most boring one of them all. Nothing is going to happen, with one exception this time around. And yeah, I forgot that one. And it's funny, I capped damage, I did 12 billion damage on my previous run without the Sword in Peril. No comment. So let's just repeat most of them. Bards on turn 3 is just going to drop level 3. Zorn is going to he's just going to chill, honestly. He doesn't need to do anything. Buffs are lasting long enough. Okay, so turn 4, we're getting imperiled, but that's why Noctis has the dispel stuff. Zorn, first of all though, gets out of here. Noctis, dual cast, fire the Spellgar. Let's target the boss. It's on A. Let's retarget for the dispel. There we go. Mazurka is going to Brave Shift and Limit. Ferris is going to Arrow Cannon. And Bards, since we cannot use Ferris Barstone God this turn, is going to Winds of Pursuit, which is a 100% Earth buff, Earth resistance buff. Bards is also going to drop Mastered, and he's going to use Dual Spellblade. Mazoka does his stuff. Last gen needs to Barbless Sega, obviously. Alright, and we're good to go again. And Bards is our second passive provoke evasion tank, which makes this quite handy. Alright, Mastermind Zorn is back. So we shift Bards so he can apply the most important buffs to the team. A Blessed Wind Crystal, Raging Winds, that's basically for himself though. And the last one doesn't matter. Don't use Courage to... Wait, something's missing. Oh no. Don't use Courage to Face Adversity. That one you have to stall for one more turn. For the what's it called? Brave Blade. So let's use all the buffs. Ferris is going to LB on this very turn for the field. Noctis is going to Royal Cleave for the 120 Light Imperil. Yep. Mastermind Zorn is going to Reflector. Element on himself, Critical on himself, and we're going to share all the buffs right now. I just want to eke out a little bit more damage. So let's do that. Okay, so everyone's pretty much ready. Yep. Last gen has one more turn of chilling out, and Mazurka is going to jump. And she's one of the quote-unquote older buff jumpers, so she has to wait one more turn up in the air. Whereas Noctis, he's just going to jump right now and be ready next turn. So Brave Shift Noctis, Warp Strike. Last gen just gets ready with Complete Awakening. Ferris Brave Shifts. And whoops, Triple Art. Pirates Ahoy, Blessed Fire Crystal, and Blade of Courage for the 130 Imperial. So let's do that first. Hope we don't damage the boss too much. Didn't, perfect. And let's use... what was it? Oh yeah, Courage to face adversity for the Brave Blade unlock. Raging Winds and job level 3, I guess. Let's have Noctis Jump. And Zorn is just going to use Thief in the Night for a 70% break on the boss. That's for basically the chainers. We are going to 85 break with Ferris on the next turn anyway. Okay. We are done here. And let's kill. So triple. Double AR, Absolute Mirror of Equity. Double AR and Brave Blade. Last Gen Shift. Ferris. Blade of Fervor. And the way you do this is you start off both your chainers. Send in Ferris second. She has to go second, so the 85% breaks immediately apply. And then you send in the rest of the team. So let's go. Let's cap with the team. Oh yeah, I saw big numbers from Noctis over there. So I did 12 billion on my first one. Let's see. Oh, that's 50% more than we actually needed. We only need 10 billion or 9.99999 etc. billion for the cap. We did 15 billion. Whew. Okay. So that's it for Malboro. So let's get to the most, second most annoying one. See you later.